as I began to write my story for today, I was like, gosh, how do I describe how I got here as a photographer? And I just sat down one day, I was on a plane from New York to LA and decided just to write for 5 hours, like my whole path from how I got the idea to become a photographer to now. And it was really funny that I noticed a pattern. And the pattern was that there were 5 moments in my life that I felt that I had life-changing experiences, and they were all just from a simple conversation I had with someone. It wasn't like meant to be a life-changing moment. It wasn't, anything I thought would be life-changing at the time, but all 5 of these people that I'm going to talk about and the conversations we had completely changed the direction of my career along the way. And so I thought this was a cool point to tell you guys, because WPPI, you're going to meet a lot of people here. I've got like a whole posse of photographers right here that I work with on a regular basis. We're like a big community, and you shouldn't get intimidated by each other. You should be like collaborating and helping each other and meeting up. And so you never know, no matter what experience, if the person next to you shot 50,000 more weddings than you, or they just started, you can learn something from that person and they can learn something from you. So, just be open to that, and you never know what conversation might change your life and change your business. So, just getting it out there. The topic of my presentation is how to design your business for the lifestyle that you want. For me, what I'm going to talk about today is shooting destination weddings and incorporating travel into my work, which are my passions, but I'm sure all of you guys have your own different passions in life. And so I think you can still take these ideas and apply it to your own business. But I just want to let you know that we will be talking about how to create your own luck, and how to get your work published, and how to book destination weddings or the jobs that you want to book. And we are going to talk a little bit about just incorporating all the things you love to do in life into your work. All right, let's get started. I'm going to show you a little slideshow of pictures of me. Just letting you know real quick, my bio slideshow. So a little bit about my background is I'm really, really passionate about travel and about adventure. And I grew up in a unique situation, unique family, where my parents both worked for a government agency that I can't mention their name. And we lived all over the world. And I grew up in Indonesia, and we traveled to Thailand and all over the world at a young age. And I think my sisters and I got this travel bug at a really, really young age. Yeah, there's going to be a whole mess of these. So that was in Peru. So I just decided that I wanted to be an adventurer at a young age. And so I was obsessed. The reason I became a photographer, I'll get into that, but I was obsessed with Jacques Cousteau and National Geographic and wanting to be like an explorer. And I just thought that's what I wanted to be my whole life. I wanted to be a zoologist. I had like a microscope kit of test pond water. I thought I was going to be like the next scientist out there. And my whole life, that was what I had decided to do. And I had this moment where my mom decided to it was shattered. At the time I thought she was shattering my dreams, but I got in trouble at school, and my mom had to pull me out of school one day. I was in science class, and she took me out of school because I got sent to the principal's office. I was talking too much. And she sat me down and said, what are you doing? Why are you messing around in science class? You're like telling me you want to be this famous scientist and travel the world, and you're not even paying attention in science class. And so I sat there and was like, well, I don't know. I was just talking in class. It wasn't a big deal. She said to me, all right, let's sit down. We're going to have a conversation, which ended up being my first life lesson conversation, which I have to give Ronnie a shout out, who's over there, who took this photo, by the way. Yeah. There we go. I actually went to her to get a professional business headshot, and this is somehow what happened. It's a true story. I actually still don't have a professional business plan. I'll have to work on that. Anyway, so the entire reason I sat down with my mom, and she said, okay, what are you doing? What is it about being a scientist that you want to be? Like, what is it about that you love? And I said, God, I'm going to travel the world, be adventurous, and do all this fun stuff, and have camera crews following me, and I like swim in the ocean, like Jacques Cousteau. My mom's like, that's just, I don't see you being a scientist at all. You're never going to sit in a room and in a lab and do all this for hours at a time, and you're not going to sit still. You get bored easily. I don't see this happening. So at the time, I was like, God, my mom's like shattering my dream. So the first point that I got from this conversation, and the funny thing is, I was 13 years old at the time that we had this conversation, and these lessons are going to come back full circle at the end of my presentation at a conference that I had, where we asked the same questions. So if you guys even want to take out pens and paper and write out what we're going to do in these slides. I'm going to make you do a little exercise in a second. So, respect who you're meant to be, it was the lesson I got from this. My mom was saying, why are you trying to force yourself to be something you're not really capable, but not good at. Like, not good at getting up early, I'm not good at being in one spot, and I'm not good at just going to the same place every day. So instead of just forcing it, why not find the reason why you like doing it and create your own job doing that? So my mom made me write down, what are you good at? And I'm gonna have you guys do this. I know it sounds hokey, but trust me, like, just by writing it down, you're giving power to your ideas and you're getting the ball rolling. It's something that's really important to do. And what are you good at is very different from what are you passionate about. Because sometimes you're really excited, like, I wanted to be a gymnast, not good at it, it's not gonna happen. So, like, it's just, what are you good at? So, at the time, I think I wrote down, I don't know, talking to people, being creative, and playing sports, and running around and traveling. I think when I wrote, I was 13. What are you not good at? Honestly, this is something you should try to step outside. Even ask your friends or your peers, like, what are you not good at, or what could you be better at? Because sometimes you don't realize you're not good at something. So, but it's good to just think about what the things you like and don't like are, and write them down. Finally, my mom said, all right, let's figure out how we can do this. So you love to travel, you want to be this Jacques Cousteau guy, like, what if you were the camera crew following him? Like, why do you have to be the scientist? Why can't you be the camera person? And it was like this light bulb went off in my head. And I'm like, that's amazing. I could still, like, do all these things without all the lab work. It's awesome, And that was how it made me decide. I was like, from that point forward, I'm like, done. I'm going to be a photographer. I'm going to work for National Geographic. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to be the next explorer. And I was super excited. In that conversation, I always come back to that because my mom doesn't even realize how amazing this conversation was. I mentor young girls in LA, and I always come back to this because she wasn't sitting there telling you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer. She was saying, all right, let's create your perfect job for you. So I thought that was a really cool lesson.